Hey everybody, thanks for joining the webinar today. This is Amanda Brumell coming at you from my new co-working space that I just joined. It's called Biz Babes and it's in downtown LA. So I've been working from home for the last 2 years and found that, it's kind of hard to work from home because I get distracted by my cat, by Netflix, by shiny things flying around outside. So here I am. And I am here to give you a crash course on essential oil therapy. So I'm going to pull up my PowerPoint and we're just going to run through some of the basics of essential oils, how to use them, a little bit more about why the grade of essential oil you use is so important. And then we'll go into more detail about which oils specifically you can use for different health concerns. And today I'm going to talk about the top 10 oils that you'd want to have for basically in your first aid kit. So I'm going to launch in because I'm going to keep this to as close to 30 minutes as possible. And like I said, this is just a crash course. This is just your foundational education. So if you want to learn more, be sure to get in touch with me after this webinar. And anybody who's watching this, I'm offering a personalized 30-minute coaching session so I can talk to you about your health goals and figure out the best way for you to get started and what oils would be best for those health goals. So here we go. What is an essential oil? If any of you know this answer, props to you. You could probably teach this class. But basically they're extracts from plants. They're totally natural. They're not altered in any way in a lab. They're found in the seed, the bark, the stems, the roots, the flowers, and other parts of plants. So not every plant produces essential oil, and typically the plants that provide the most therapeutic benefit are the ones that we extract the essential oils from. But typically if you were to take like a peppermint leaf and you crush that leaf between your fingers, you start to smell the aroma because you burst the little oil sacs that are on the that are inside the leaf. And so when those oil sacs burst open, you get the essential oil aroma. And then you can also, that aroma is not only going into your olfactory system, but if you're getting it on your fingers, you're also getting the topical benefit. Now, essential oils are a little bit different than the herb itself. So to get the benefit of peppermint essential oil, you'd need like 50 to 70 times more herbs. So basically what that means is the essential oil is extremely concentrated and less is more. So typically at one time in the day, you might only need 1 drop, especially if you're going to use it internally. And you can see here at the bottom, 1 drop of peppermint essential oil has the therapeutic equivalent of 28 cups of peppermint tea. Now, I love peppermint tea, but 28 cups in a day, I would basically just have to like drink the tea on the toilet because I never leave the bathroom. Hello. So why is grade important? And the brand that I use is doTERRA for a very specific reason. Number one, it's the brand that is used by most hospitals and medical centers across the country. doTERRA itself is building medical centers across the country because they want to provide free and low-cost holistic healthcare. I think we're blessed to have Western medicine, but unfortunately we tend to depend on it instead of depending on the gifts that were given to us by the earth itself. So if you notice, like when you eat things from a package or a box, probably don't feel as good as when you eat things that came straight from the ground that have, leaves and flowers and roots and buds. So this particular brand I trust because they source the plants all over the world. So they come from their indigenous environment, which means that they have the ideal circumstances to create the most therapeutic plant possible. So the ideal sunlight, temperature, soil, time of year, and the people who are farming the plants know exactly what they're doing because they've been doing it for generations. It's not just some factory farmed crop. So they end up being harvested at the most opportune time. And typically the most nutrients that you get from fruit or vegetables comes in the last 2 or 3 days before it falls off the tree or before it's, fully ripe and harvested. And in our industry, because of, mass producing and mass farming, they tend to harvest fruits and vegetables before they're ripe. So you're not getting nearly as many nutrients as you should be getting, which is why we end up having to supplement with, pills, unfortunately. So unless you're living on a farm and farming everything yourself, most of the things that you're consuming are not harvested at the right time. So doTERRA ensures that everything is harvested at exactly the right time, so you're getting the most possible therapeutic benefit from that plant. And then I think the most important thing is that everything is tested. So doTERRA's oils are not organic. They're actually beyond organic. Organic is the best certification that we have in the States. And, yes, it's not the best, but at least it's something. So doTERRA is trying to encourage other companies to take it a step further and start to test their products. So organic basically just means the farm has agreed not to use pesticides and chemicals, and they haven't been used on the ground for at least 7 years. But nobody's really testing the crops. They're not testing the soil before it gets on your plate. So there could be a farm next to the organic farm that uses tons of chemicals and pesticides, and all of those pesticides and chemicals are running off into the crops next door. So you could be getting carrots that are technically organic, but they're filled with pesticides, and you would have no idea. So what doTERRA does is they test every single batch of oil. They test the soil, they test the crops, they test the oil itself once it's extracted and distilled. And they do this through a third party. And I got to meet the CEO of this company at doTERRA's leadership retreat last week, I think. And they do 7 different tests, and then doTERRA will test the oils on top of that. They do 11 tests. So there's like 18 tests that are done. Some of them are repeats. doTERRA will repeat some of the tests that the third party does, and some of the tests are unique, but they're very dedicated to purity. Because if they're going to say you can take them internally, they want to make sure that you are not going to be harmed by what you're consuming. So they're guaranteed to be free of toxins, contaminants, microorganisms, and they also confirm that they're going to have the desired potency so that you're going to get the proper benefit from it. A lot of oils may be tested for purity. So you might see oils in the market that says like tested, pure, natural, 100% natural. The first problem with that is there's no regulation in the industry, so people can pretty much put whatever they want on the labels. The FDA is not regulating it. And secondly, their oils might be pure, but you have no idea how potent they are. And potency is really what you're paying for. You're paying for a benefit. You don't, it's great when the oils smell good, but you can use these basically like plant-based medicine. So there's some tools that you want to make sure you have when you're getting started with essential oil therapy, and they're super easy. The first is the diffuser. I actually have one sitting next to me. I've been feeling a little bit under the weather, so I've got my immune balm combo in here of On Guard and Breathe. And so this diffuser, I'll show you here. You can see there's a little button at the bottom. You can run it for 2, 5, or 10 hours. So this is great for sleep. If you have any trouble sleeping or you have congestion at night when you're sleeping, you can get a 10-hour diffuser like this one. It's called the Lumo. You can have it running all night. So I put it on maybe a half an hour before I go to sleep, and it's running all night long. And I wake up in the morning, and oftentimes it's still on. So it can be running while I'm doing my little morning routine of, an abundance prayer and journaling, and do a little EFT tapping. And I use my oils. So it helps to get my energy up and keep me focused in the first half of the day. And I like it at night because the diffuser is purifying the air too. So essential oils are one of the best ways to purify the air. And if you live in an urban place like New York or LA, you're just being inundated with smoke and toxins and chemicals in your environment. So it's really important to have some kind of purification system in your home. And things like Febreze, air fresheners, body sprays, candles, they can be extremely carcinogenic and have a really negative effect on your brain. So if you're dealing with brain fog, mood imbalance, hormonal imbalance, you want to look at the things that you are inhaling in your home, anything you're putting on your body or in your body or around your body. And so I've just switched over to everything to essential oils. I have one candle that I use just because the smell is so amazing. It makes me really happy. But other than that, I don't burn candles. I use all natural products. I make a lot of my own products, and it just takes down the toxicity level because we're competing with so much in the environment already. You want to do everything you can to minimize the toxins that are avoidable. The other thing you need is fractionated coconut oil. And this oil is different than raw coconut oil. You can use raw coconut oil, but I find that it's very fatty and it can leave a greasy residue on your skin. It doesn't absorb as well into your skin. And so that means that the essential oils that you're mixing into it, that you're using the coconut oil to dilute, aren't going to absorb into your skin as quickly. So it might smell good on the top of your skin, and you might get some of the oil into your system, but you're going to have a more powerful systemic response if you use the fractionated, because they take the fatty acid chains out so that it's liquid at all temperatures. It doesn't smell like coconut oil. And it really just increases the coverage of the oils on your skin. So say you wanted to put some essential oils on your shoulders and your back because you had a really hard workout and all your muscles are tense. If you use raw coconut oil, it's just going to leave like greasiness on your skin, and then you put your shirt on and you stained your shirt. The coconut, the fractionated, just absorbs into the skin really easily. And instead of having to use like 15 drops of essential oil to cover the entire surface area of your back, you just take 1 or 2 drops of essential oil and you mix it with the coconut oil, and the coconut oil will spread it on your back. So you're just preserving your essential oil longer. No fancy degrees required. These 2 books are basically how I learned everything about oils. And then I got some coaching from my mentors. So when you decide to work with essential oils, if you choose to work with me, you get 90 days of free coaching, and you can also get these books for free. The Modern Essentials book is like your run-of-the-mill textbook. It's got all the science and chemistry behind essential oils. So if you're a science nerd like I am, this book is going to be your best friend. Secondly, the Emotions in Essential Oils book is more for those who are feeling really good in your body. In general, you don't have a lot of gripes about your health, but you're working on emotional connectedness. Maybe you're trying to manifest certain things in your life. You're trying to release grief or sadness or anger. Oils, every oil has both a physical and an emotional property. And oftentimes when we start to manifest physical issues, it's really an emotional root. So if you start working with oils for your physical issues, it's going to improve your emotional health. If you start using oils for your emotional health, it'll improve your physical health beyond perhaps what you even imagined was possible. Some people think they feel good, and then they start using oils and they're like, whoa, I didn't know I could feel this good. And then the final thing would be veggie caps. So using oils internally is unique to this brand. I don't recommend it for most essential oil brands. And the veggie caps are not necessary to ingest all oils, but they are necessary for hot oils like oregano, cinnamon, cassia, lemongrass, oregano. Did I say oregano? So some oils require veggie caps because if you put them directly on your tongue, you will not feel very good about it. It's not going to be nice. You won't be happy, oil user. And again, when you start using oils, I will coach you on how to use all of these different tools. But this is pretty much all you need besides your oils. How do we use oils? So I talked about a couple of these ways. And this is a big question that I get from people. They're like, well, I have these oils. I don't really know, like, do I use it? Do I smell it? Do I put it on me? Do I drink it? How do I know what to do? So what I say to people is if you're working on mood, stress, sleep, things like that, the fastest way to have an effect is to smell the oil. The oil goes into your nose, passes through your olfactory system, and your olfactory system is connected to your limbic system, which is the part of the brain that manages your mood and emotions. So within 22 seconds of smelling something, you have a chemical reaction in your brain. So if you're trying to improve your mood, say you're just like in a really sour mood, things are really aggravating you and you just can't get out of it, smell some oils. It doesn't mean you're never going to be aggravated again, but it gets you out of that like frustrated, stuck place so you can open yourself up a little bit and make a better emotional choice. This is also great if you are feeling congested and your nose is congested, you're coughing a lot, maybe you're sneezing. The oils will help to open up your respiratory system. So it helps to maintain healthy airways. So again, if you're dealing with mood, sleep, congestion, respiratory stuff, any of that, aromatic is the fastest way to have an effect. If you're dealing with skin issues, maybe you have a rash, you have a burn, a cut, a scrape, or you have soreness in your joints, topically is the fastest way to make a difference. You can use the oils locally. So it enters the bloodstream within 30 seconds of using the oil. And that's pretty fast. I definitely recommend diluting with the coconut oil to prevent skin irritation. Even an oil like lavender, which is very gentle, because it's so potent, over time you could develop a sensitivity if you put it on meat, which means not diluted. If you keep putting it on meat on the same part of your skin over and over again, it could potentially create sensitivity. So I just err on the side of caution and recommend diluting because you cover more surface area and you don't have to use as much of your essential oil. And then internally, I'm pretty conservative with my internal use. I probably take like somewhere between 3 and 10 drops a day internally, depending on the day and what I need it for. If I'm starting to feel under the weather, like today I started to feel a little under the weather, I'll take more internally to kind of stave off whatever's going on or festering in my body. I'll start taking more internally, but on a daily basis, I usually start my day with some essential oils in my water to keep my system cleansed. And then I might take some oils under the tongue if I'm dealing with something particular during the day, like a digestive issue or a mood issue. I might, take something internally to enhance the aromatic benefit of something else that I used. And you can also cook with the oils, which is really great, especially for single people who don't want to buy a bunch of oregano and then you use like 3 sprigs and the rest of it goes bad. In those little moments where you just want a little flavor to a dish, but you don't want to spend a lot of money on herbs, you can use a drop of thyme oil or a drop of basil or a drop of lemon, and it flavors your food and it gives you a therapeutic benefit. And then for tips, you want to keep the oils out of your eyes, your ears, your nose, and any other sensitive areas. Dilute. And don't dilute with water. Water will actually increase the sensation. So if you were to get something in your eye, the natural inclination would be to wash it out with water. That will actually intensify it. You really want to get the coconut oil or almond oil or olive oil, anything that's a carrier oil, to neutralize the essential oil. Follow the directions on the label. So if you look at a bottle of lemon here, you can see there are supplement facts. So if an essential oil has supplement facts on it, it means you can take it internally. And then at the bottom, it will tell you how to use it. So let me try this way. The bottom, it'll say for internal use, dilute 1 drop in 4 fluid ounces of water. So if you can't remember what to do with the oil, just look on the bottle and it'll tell you what to do. If it has supplement facts, it's safe to ingest. If it does not have supplement facts, like this one just has ingredients, there's no supplement facts, then you can only use it topically or aromatically. And then if you're going to drink the oils, never put it in plastic. It'll break down the plastic unless it's an industrial grade plastic like this one. This diffuser is industrial grade, so it's fine to put the essential oils in here. But if you're going to be drinking them, I recommend glass, ceramic. You can use stainless steel. I find that sometimes the metal changes the flavor of the water, so I prefer glass or like a porcelain mug or something. So we're going to go into the top 10 oils, and I'm going to do this rapid fire. Lemon oil, which I was just showing you. This is our lemon. So this is super cleansing. This is great for people who are looking to cleanse their digestive system. If you're dealing with any sort of, gas, bloating, skin issues, lemon is a natural way to purify your system, and it helps to aid in digestion. It's also great to combine with with lavender and peppermint if you're needing respiratory support. And it's really good for focus. So if you're trying to focus on a project, you're writing a book, you are writing a sketch, something like that, you can use lemon in your diffuser, or you can drink it and they'll help you with focus. It's also good to use in DIY cleaning products. So if you want to make your own things at home, you can use lemon. You can use white vinegar and some water in a glass spray bottle, and you can use that to clean your whole home. Super cheap, much better for the environment. You know exactly what's in your products. And if you have pets or kids, I definitely recommend making your own cleaning products at home because they're walking all over your floor, licking their paws, licking their hands, eating things off the floor. So you want to make sure that the cleaning products you use are very pure. Lavender. This is probably the most popular essential oil. It's really good to ease feelings of tension. So if you get home, you get home at the end of the day, you're just feeling overwhelmed, you need to chill out your energy, you can put a little lavender behind your ears, on your wrists, or in a diffuser. It's also really good for communication. So if you have to have a difficult conversation, or you're presenting, or you're having a meeting or an interview, you can put a little lavender on your throat chakra, and it'll help to increase communication. I also love this if I have any skin irritation, if I get a blemish or if I get a sunburn, I'll use a little lavender to calm down my skin. So it helps to calm down redness. It's also lovely in a bath if you're just trying to relax. And I want to say one thing about lavender. So everyone responds to oils differently. Some people use lavender for sleep and it really helps them fall asleep at night. I find lavender to be relaxing, but it does not help me with sleep. I find that I heard this once from an energy worker who said that lavender is the oil of communication. And so for people who are very empathic, if you use lavender at night, it increases your communication with spirits and entities. So I know that sounds pretty woo, but if you believe in that kind of stuff, it makes sense to me because I would use lavender alone at night and I'd feel like my mind was racing and I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. So I started combining lavender with another oil called Balance. And so Balance gets me really grounded and out of my head, and lavender calms down my nervous system. I especially like this blend called Serenity. It's designed specifically for sleep, and it has an essential oil in there called vetiver, which is a root, and that really gets you grounded. It's almost like a natural sedative. Peppermint is one of my favorites. I use this probably most often. I use it as a natural breath freshener. So if I'm going to be around people and talking up close and personal, I use the peppermint instead of mints or gum, because it's never nice to be chewing gum when you're hanging out with people and talking to them a lot. I don't find it so pleasurable to watch somebody else chew gum. And especially if you're an actress or you're trying to perform on stage, you can't really chew gum or suck on a mint. So you can use the peppermint. So it's also really good to open up your respiratory system. And then it's amazing after a meal. So if you eat something, say you have like some pizza or some mac and cheese and you're just feeling like, ugh, gassy and bloated, this is what I do with the peppermint. I put a little drop on the back of my hand like that. I dilute it just a little bit, and then I take a little lick. And it's strong and it tastes amazing. I love the taste of peppermint. And the rest of it I'll put on the back of my neck because it also cools you down. It's a natural cooling agent. So if I'm feeling a little sweaty or like nervous or something, I'll put it on the back of my neck and it cools down my whole body. So it's really good to bring down a body temperature, especially since the summer's coming up. If you're going on vacation or you're going to go to like hang out in Disneyland all day, you can put a little peppermint on the back of your neck. Oh, and it's the oil of a buoyant heart. So if you want to have more open heart chakra energy, you can put some peppermint on your chest. Melaleuca. This is also known as tea tree oil. This is really cleansing to negative energies. So physically, it's really good if you have a blemish because it's like a natural antiseptic. So it'll help to clear out any sort of nasties that are in your skin. If you cut your skin, like my cat will scratch me a lot of time, I put Melaleuca on it immediately. It's really good to boost the immune system. And then energetically, if you work with people who are a little bit of those like energy vampire suckers, you can put some Melaleuca on you or in a diffuser. And it helps to create like a Jedi force field. Oregano. This is like the 2.0 version of Melaleuca. Oregano is not something I recommend taking internally every day because it's almost like a natural antibiotic. It's actually what they use in chickens who are free-range chickens that they've agreed not to use antibiotics on. Well, the chickens sometimes get sick and they don't want to just have sick chickens running around their pastures, so they'll put oregano in the feed, and that is like a natural antibiotic. So you can put a couple of drops of oregano into a veggie cap. You do not want to drink this straight up. It is so strong and very spicy. And even if you've had oil of oregano from other brands, I promise you this is like in another league. I've had people challenge me and put it on their tongue and like it was like fire was coming out of their face. So trust me on this one. But you can use it if you are really feeling under the weather. So if by the later tonight or tomorrow morning I'm still feeling on the cusp of like going down the rabbit hole, I'll probably start taking some oregano internally in a veggie cap. And that typically gets me right back on track. I really have not been sick in, I would say, 3 years. The most is like me feeling a little bit sluggish and under the weather, and then I oil up, and by the next day, I'm fine. I haven't really been down for the count for more than 24 hours in 3 years. So it's pretty awesome. You can also use this in cooking. So you can use it in pasta sauce. I like to marinate it in olive oil. So it's a really great addition to your medicine cabinet. Frankincense. This is liquid gold. This stuff, this is like written about in the Bible. I'm not religious, but I mean, it's Jesus. So they brought Jesus frankincense, gold, and myrrh. And so I figure if like it's good enough for baby Jesus, I probably should be using this all the time. So you can take it internally to support just healthy cellular function. And most disease in our bodies is because our cells are not functioning properly. So frankincense encourages healthy cellular function. It also is very anti-aging. So I add it to my moisturizer. Yeah, I'm like 65. It's working pretty well. And you can massage it just if you want to massage it into your neck and you want to calm down your mind before sleep. It can actually pass the blood-brain barrier and go into your brain and nourish your brain. So this, like, if you're not really sure what oil to use some frankincense and you're going to have a positive benefit. It's so chemically complex that it is beneficial for so many things. DigestionZen. This is one of my best friends on holidays and birthdays and weddings. When I'm eating all the gluten, and I should not be eating all the gluten, I'll take some DigestionZen. So it's really good for gas and bloating. Peppermint is in here. So you could use peppermint, or if you're looking specifically for digestive support, this works very quickly. I like to put a drop under my tongue, or I'll put it in a small shot glass of water and drink that before or after meals. You can also dilute it with coconut oil and rub it over your stomach. This is great for babies who might be colicky. You want to dilute it heavily, though, for a small person. If you imagine one drop for an adult-sized person, you need to dilute it way more for a tiny-sized person. So if you're not sure what the dilution ratios are, just send me a message and I can let you know what those are. Breathe, doTERRA Breathe. So I don't tend to use Breathe a whole lot because I don't have a lot of allergy issues or congestion issues, but when I need it, it's like a godsend. So I'm using it actually right now in my diffuser because I've been sneezy all day. And it's helped. I haven't really been sneezy in the last couple hours. So this is a blend. It has got eucalyptus, it's got peppermint, it's got cardamom. You can put a couple of drops in your shower and steam it in your shower if you're feeling like congested. You can also put it over your chest before a workout, and it helps with endurance because it opens up the lungs and allows more oxygen to flow. So sometimes I get yawny, like I yawn a lot when I start working out, and it's because my body's not getting enough oxygen. So I start putting Breathe in my palms or on my chest, and it opens things up, and I feel just stronger because I'm getting all that good oxygen. And if you also have someone in your life who makes very loud chainsaw-like noises in the nighttime, you can use some Breathe in the diffuser. You can also add some On Guard in and put a little drop of frankincense under their tongue, and it'll help to calm down inflammation and open up airways so they can breathe more soundly and not drive you totally insane. I had a boyfriend who was a chainsaw sound maker, and it was like almost like the death of our relationship. Other things were the real death, but that didn't help. Okay, Deep Blue. This one comes in a smaller bottle. All the other ones were 15 milliliter. This comes in this little bottle. It also comes in a roller. It comes in a lotion. This is like the gateway drug for people with essential oils. And it is so soothing. I take this to my massage therapist because God only knows what kind of oil she's using. She really should start, I should talk to her about using these, but I just want to make sure that whatever's going on my skin for like an hour is not going to disrupt my hormones. And it works so well. So I mix this with some coconut oil, and I'll massage it into my shoulders and my neck, my lower back. I massage it over my abdomen if I get cramps. And then the lotion, I like to mix the two. So the lotion has more of like a topical sensation, and then the Deep Blue oil goes really deep into the cells, penetrates deep into the cells for more long-term support. And the lotion is just going to give you that immediate relief. And then On Guard. This is another one that I have in my diffuser right now. This one, when you open the bottle, it kind of smells like the holidays. It smells like fall. It's got like cinnamon and clove and wild orange and rosemary and eucalyptus. This one you can take internally. This is the best one for boosting your immune system. It tastes a little crazy. It's pretty strong and spicy, but I love putting it on my tongue when I feel like I have a sore throat coming on because it numbs any sort of tension or irritation I might have in my throat. It's also really good before you go to the dentist. So I'll gargle with this before I go to the dentist because the clove is naturally numbing. And when you go to the dentist, if your teeth are sensitive or your gums are sensitive and they're like scraping your teeth with that metal like scraper thing, it's not fun. And so when I started gargling with this before I go to the dentist, and I oil pull with it on a regular basis, and I also have it in my toothpaste. My teeth are like 180. I used to use Sensodyne, which is super not natural. And I felt like it was just kind of putting a film on my teeth, whereas I feel like this is actually really supporting my gum health, and it's pulling toxins out of my bloodstream. So if you haven't ever oil pulled before, I recommend doing it. It's really good for breath. It's really good for digestion. It's really good just for overall cleansing of your body. And then On Guard is my favorite one to purify the air. So this one I'll sometimes diffuse when I'm not even home, so I can be purifying the air and I come home to fresh, clean, purified air. Oh, and one final tip. If you want a healthy, spicy, low calorie snack, you can slice up some apples and then soak them in water with a couple of drops of On Guard, and then you have like a spicy sweet sugar-free snack. I mean, the only sugar that's in there is the natural sugar from the apple. And it tastes delicious, and it's giving you that extra antioxidant punch. So if you already have oils at home, I know some of you watching already are using oils at home, you can drop off here. If you are new to oils and you're curious about how you can get them in your home, I'm just going to quickly give you an overview of how you can do that. The last thing I'll mention is doTERRA does have supplements. A lot of people don't know this, and their supplement pack, this Lifelong Vitality Pack supplement pack, is their #1 selling product. And I actually have been feeling really low energy recently, and I'm like, what is going on with me? And I realized that I ran out of this pack and I stopped taking it for the last probably month and a half, and was like, oh, duh, like that is totally why my energy has been low. So yeah, I'm starting a cleanse, the doTERRA cleanse, in 2 weeks. And so if that's something that you're curious about, I'll be getting on these supplements and leading everyone through a cleanse. So you're welcome to ask me more questions about that too. There are a number of different ways to get involved in using oils. You can buy them retail. So if you just want to try an oil or two, that's totally cool. If you're feeling like you want to get a deeper dive, there are a range of kits that you can get, and they're designed for all different budgets, all different levels of interest and commitment. This one is obviously the dream kit, and a lot of people who start with this are entrepreneurs or health coaches or doctors or people who are just ready to do a complete overhaul and they want to save the most money. They're just like overhauling all the products in their home and they want to get them all natural. And you just save the most money with this kit. This is for people who want to have every oil. They're like, I want that Modern Essentials book. I want to have every oil that I might need that will come up in that book. Give me all the oils. And again, this is a huge savings. You save almost $1,000 because if you bought all these items individually, it would be $995 more. This kit is pretty popular for people who want a somewhere in between. They want some of the products, they want some of the supplements, they want some of the oils, and they definitely want a diffuser. So it has a lot of value. And you, like I said, with any of these kits, you would get the 90 days of free coaching. Emotional aromatherapy. This is great for people who are just focused on emotional health. They feel pretty good in their bodies. They're not having a lot of physical issues, but they want to work on their stress and their emotional health and kind of take that to the next level. So this gives you 6 oils and that 10-hour diffuser to start managing your emotions naturally. The Home Essentials kit. This is a sampler kit. This comes with the top 10 oils that I talked about on the webinar, and you also get a 4-hour diffuser. It's called the Petal Diffuser. So this is great for people who just want to have the necessities in their medicine cabinet, and they might want to build their essential oil collection over time. They want to start small and then build. Some people want to go all in and have everything, and other people want to start small and then build. And then this is the other option for the sampler kit. It's the same oils as we talked about on the webinar and that are in the Home Essentials kit. They're just smaller bottles. So the Home Essentials kit has 15 milliliter bottles, and the Family Essentials has 5. So it's just tinier. You get about 3 times the amount of oil in the Home Essentials kit. And the good thing about it is it's not 3 times the price. So if you're really thinking you're going to commit to essential oil therapy, the better value is the Home Essentials kit. And then the final kit, this is the final kit. This is the Aroma Touch Diffused. And this comes with 8 oils, the fractionated coconut oil, and a diffuser. So you get the option to use oils aromatically, topically, and internally. And you start with oils that are best for sleep, for joint support, and for immune support. So if you're just focusing on those areas, this would be a great kit to start with. If you want to have more diversity and options, I would say the Home Essentials kit or the Natural Solutions kit would be a good option. So like you can see, oils, the kits start at $150, and then they go all the way up to the Diamond kit, which was like $2,600. Now there are some other things that I offer to people aside from the 90 days of free coaching. If you do start with a kit, you do get some free oils and you get some free DIY products to start making things at home. And then you will also get entered into a community of other practitioners, doctors, acupuncturists, chiropractors who have been using oils for years. And if you have questions that come up, you can post in the community and get your questions answered. We do a lot of education on that site. So, there are some people out there who are offering paid programs that you can learn about oils. But if you join our group, you'll get all of that education for free. And then we also do fun stuff like giveaways and promotions and We have an online program called Oil Camp where it's 2 weeks online where you can learn all about your oils and win some prizes along the way. So we try to keep it light and fun, but knowing that essential oils are typically the missing link in people's healthcare. When people are feeling pretty good, but they're like, something's just not quite connecting, oftentimes when they add in essential oils, they really do take it to the next level. So I thank you for joining this webinar. If you have any questions, just email me at amanda@realurbanwellness.com. amanda@realurbanwellness.com, or you can find me on Facebook, Amanda Broomell, Broomell, and I'm happy to answer your questions. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any requests about things that you want to learn in the future, just let me know, because I will be doing all sorts of different webinars over the coming months to make sure you get the education that you need. All right, I will see you soon.